They wanted her to be quiet. They wanted her to be graceful in a way they could control. They wanted her to smile, bow, and accept whatever score they gave her. But Surya Bonaly was never built to obey a system that refused to see her fully. From the moment she stepped onto the ice, she carried a power that made people uncomfortable because it came from a Black woman who refused to shrink. Figure skating has always claimed to be about beauty, elegance, and art. But beneath the music and costumes, it has also been about tradition, conformity, and who is allowed to win. Surya Bonaly entered that world with muscles, speed, and fearlessness. She did not float gently across the ice. She attacked it with strength, precision, and confidence. Her presence alone challenged everything the sport was used to rewarding. Surya was not just talented, she was extraordinary. Her jumps were higher than most, her landings were sharper, her balance was stronger. She trained relentlessly, pushing her body beyond limits others would not dare to touch. While many skaters focused on looking delicate, Surya focused on mastering difficulty, and she succeeded. She became known for something no other woman could do. Surya Bonaly was the only female figure skater in the world capable of performing a backflip and landing cleanly on one blade. That move required explosive power, perfect timing, and total control. It was dangerous, it was bold, it was historic, and it should have guaranteed her a permanent place at the top. But the judges did not reward courage, they feared it. Technically, Surya was undeniable. Her technical scores were often high because judges had no choice. The jumps were real, the landings were clean, the combinations were difficult. Numbers do not lie. So instead of attacking her ability, they attacked her expression. They used words like artistic, softness, and grace to disguise their discomfort with her strength. They said she skated too aggressively. They said she lacked elegance. They said her style was not refined enough. But what they were really saying was that her power did not match their idea of beauty. When Black women show strength, it is often labeled as a flaw. When others show the same force, it is praised as passion. Still, Surya kept winning. From 1991 to 1995, Surya Bonaly became a 5-time European champion, 5 years in a row. No debate, no accident, no favoritism, just dominance. You do not win Europe 5 times unless you are exceptional. You do not stay on top that long unless you are doing something others cannot match. Yet even as a champion, Surya was never treated like one. Every major competition followed the same pattern. She would skate powerfully, the audience would react, commentators would acknowledge her difficulty, and then the scores would appear. High technical marks, low artistic marks, the same invisible wall standing between her and gold. By 1994, Surya understood the truth. She was not competing against other skaters anymore. She was competing against a system that had already decided how far she was allowed to go. She knew that no matter how perfectly she skated, the gold medal was being guarded by bias. Still, she did not hold back. Her 1994 championship performance was strong, controlled, and fearless. There was no collapse, no disaster, no failure big enough to justify what happened next. When the final scores were shown, Surya was placed second again. Silver. Not because she was beaten, not because she was weaker, but because her excellence did not fit the image the judges wanted to reward. Standing there with a silver medal in her hands, Surya faced a choice. She could smile and play along. She could pretend the system was fair. She could step onto the podium and accept what she knew was wrong. She chose truth. Surya Bonaly refused to stand on the podium wearing a silver medal she did not believe reflected her performance. She did not celebrate it. She did not pretend it was enough. That moment was not about ego. It was about dignity. It was about refusing to be silent in the face of injustice. The world reacted quickly. They called her disrespectful, they called her emotional, they called her ungrateful. Those words are often used when Black women refuse to accept unfair treatment quietly. But none of those labels could erase the truth written on the ice. No judge could erase her strength. No judge could erase her backflip. No judge could erase 5 European titles. Surya Bonaly exposed something deeper than a competition result. She exposed how systems protect themselves by controlling outcomes. She showed how excellence can be acknowledged but never fully rewarded when it comes from the wrong body. She showed how bias does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers through numbers and opinions. Her story is not just about skating. It is about life. It is about working twice as hard and still being told it's not enough. It is about being excellent and still being questioned. It is about knowing your worth, even when authority refuses to confirm it. Surya Bonaly did not fail the system. The system failed her. And yet, her legacy stands stronger than any medal. She is remembered as fearless, as dominant, as a Black woman who refused to bend, as an athlete who changed what was possible, even when the rules tried to stop her. The lesson is clear. Sometimes the world will deny you what you deserve. Sometimes fairness is promised but never delivered. But your strength does not belong to judges. Your truth does not belong to systems. It belongs to history, and history remembers Surya Bonaly not as second place, but as a woman whose power could never be ignored, no matter how hard they tried.